iOS 17.1 is a huge update with a bunch of brand new features, changes, bug fixes across the OS. So let's dive right in because this is going to be a huge update for everyone. I'll be talking about brand new features, bug fixes, battery life, performance, and if you should update to iOS 17.1 and when to expect iOS 17.2. Okay, so this new iOS 17.1 this new update could range up to 1 gigabyte to 6.5 gigabytes depending on the version you came on previously. I was previously on iOS 17 public beta versions, so they were much smaller. They're about 350 megabits per second. This version for me was only 473.4 megabytes on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. So modem firmware has been updated to all devices. Modem firmware is 1.12.02. So what's new in 17.1? Reminder for the flashlight right up top, just in case if you've forgotten to turn off your flashlight. We've seen a lot of people out there that have their flashlight on in their pocket, and we all just point and say, hey, your flashlight is on. Now you can press and hold on the dynamic island indicating that your flashlight is on. From here, you can also toggle off and it'll disappear. So we have a brand new toggle here for airdrop. So if you go into your settings, go to general, go to airdrop. Down here, it says continue send receive content when Wi-Fi is not available. It lets you continue on receiving it over cellular data if you leave airdrop signal range. So that's a huge help if you're transferring something big as like a video footage, a big file, anything over airdrop. If the other person sitting next to you needs to go for any reason, you'll still continue using the cellular data to continue dropping and receiving content, but both users do have to have iOS 17.1 for it to work to have that feature down here. So make sure that toggle is on and make sure the other person has iOS 17.1 to send and receive bigger, longer files over cellular data. A couple new features in the music app with Apple Music. So if you go to any album, you long press and hold, it'll pop up this screen down here. Before, you used to have the love icon down there where you love the song, but now it has favorites, which will show you down here that it's sent to your favorite playlist. And it'll tell you if you forget that you pressed favorites, it'll also indicate you that you have it in favorites right down here. So before, if you go to your songs list, up here it used to have a different option just as title, recents, and artists. Now when you press on it, it'll show you all your songs, favorited, titled, recent, and artist. So just added those two new options right up top there. So if you tap on that here and you hit favorited, it'll only show you your favorited songs. So if we go to any of our songs and then any of our playlists as well, you go all the way down to the bottom, it'll show us song suggestions. So if we're just listening to a playlist, give you suggestions of songs that you might have listened to, or you could add from here, or you could refresh the suggestion button each time. It will suggest you brand new songs or songs that you have heard in the past. And from here, you can always just add from here to your playlist. So I just added that brand new song to my playlist. You could also, if you're listening to your albums or any artist that you don't like or don't want to hear next, you can always press and hold on them and hit suggest less. So if you're in the shuffle option in Apple Music and you don't want to hear any more of this artist, you just hit suggest less and they'll stop playing more of their songs. Also, if you're in the now playing view, it'll also give you the option to favorite that artist from the now playing view. From here, it'll automatically give you that cool little animation where you could deselect, select, and it pops up and it shows you that you have added it to your favorites list. You'll also get a feedback when you press on that button. So if we press it again, it just taps you and tells you that you've added it to your favorites. And also you'll also have this option when you're on the lock screen. So if you have it on the lock screen here, down here in the left corner, it has a little star where you could press it right there. Gives you that cool little animation. And so you could also, if you like the artist and you want to favorite him for next time, you could just press and hold on their name, go to artist, and you could favorite their music. So if we press on here, favorite it, it'll add it to our favorites list, and it'll keep suggesting more songs that are like this artist that you favorited, and it's way better than it did before. Okay, so if we head into our settings and we go into standby, you will notice some changes here as well. So now it has a new option for display. On previous versions of iOS 17, it only had standby, always on, night mode, show notification, and show preview on tap only. So if we go into the option of display, so now you have more options right up top for your standby mode display. You can have it on automatically after 20 seconds or never to shut down the screen when you're not using it or paying attention in standby mode. If you have it charging in standby mode and have it in automatically, it'll automatically shut the display down when you're not using it or if the room's dark and it doesn't detect anyone. And so if you toggle on and off between automatically in 20 seconds, if you hit 20 seconds, motion to wake is no longer there. So if you hit automatic, now it's there in the bottom. So it just disappears after 20 seconds. And then if you keep it in 20 seconds, the display will turn off no matter what's going on after 20 seconds. Or you could have it to never turn off. So now there's a new cool animation when you have reachability turned on. So now when you used to swipe down from the screen, it used to show you the background of the wallpaper here and also two dynamic islands. But now when you pull it down, it's a back wallpaper and no longer shows you two dynamic islands up top. So it just shows you the bottom here. So it just brings down that option there. So it's no longer kind of distracting. So it actually makes more sense this way than before. So now we have a couple of new features here in the wallpaper settings. So now if you have any wallpaper or anything on your wallpaper, you can usually pinch and zoom out and extend that wallpaper, and using AI it generates kind of this cool looking background that matches the wallpaper that you currently have. But before down here, yes, it shows it natural wallpaper, natural display. But if you go down here and extend wallpaper, it'll automatically extend it across the whole screen. And so yeah, you can revert it back and forth between both options, extend the wallpaper or not. I actually like it like this, as it is, and looks pretty good like this. It extends the wallpaper across the whole display. So now there's a brand new wallpaper option for photo shuffles. So before for photo shuffles, you would have to manually select the photos that you want it to shuffle every single time you unlock the phone. But now it gives you an option to not just shuffle between photos, but between shuffle photos by selecting albums. So if you have a dedicated album for wallpapers or for your cats, as you could see, or for anything else in those folders or albums, you'll automatically have that option for that. So now you could automatically choose to shuffle photos from a specific album by selecting that option there from your favorites or from any other folder. It'll automatically show you what photos will be shuffled through. So you could automatically select the albums from the wallpaper settings. So for the action button, if you had any type of shortcut using Siri or using anything else from here, from any of these options, before people had a problem with it automatically being triggered or being pressed, automatically just do what it does when it's pressed. Now in iOS 17.1, so it's going to determine using the proximity sensors right up top to determine if it's in your pocket or not. So if it's in your pocket, certain function like the camera, flashlight, focus mode, voice memos will no longer be active when button is pressed if the iPhone is tucked away in your pocket or anything else. There's a minor update in messages. So if you press and hold here to add a photo or video, you get a tiny little feedback press in the background. This iOS 17.1 also includes an update for iPhone 12 users in France, which fixes a big problem for France users that let off a lot of radiation from the phone, which banded iPhone 12 sales over high radiation emission levels. So if you're interested in reading more information about this topic, Apple did publish a statement about this update to anyone with an iPhone 12 in France. This update also includes home key support for Matter Lock. So if you have a Matter Lock accessory, camera, locks, or whatever, you now have home key support. We could talk about the HomePod update, which enhanced dialogue for HomePod and HomePod Mini. If you're into gaming, this update now supports connecting your Nintendo 64 Switch controller to your iPhone, which could be pretty cool depending on the game you're playing. Cool new little animation here with the volume rocker. So if you go past the 100% mark, it has a little funny bounce to it. So if you go all the way down, it stretches. If you go all the way up, it keeps going. Kind of a little funny little bounce. Same thing if you like throw it. Funny cool animation. iOS 17.1 also includes a lot of bug fixes, including, and if you were on social media for the past couple of weeks, there's a lot of articles talking about the iPhone 15 having a lot of screen burn-in. So not only the iOS 17 had a problem with the iPhone 15 series, but older devices as well, as an iPhone 12, 12 mini. iPhone 15 users are not the only ones that had this iPhone screen burnout. It happened to everyone that was on iOS 17. So this update fixes the issue that may cause display image persistence. So I've seen a lot of people on social media, on Twitter, X, showing photos of their phone's screen burnouts, but now this has completely fixed that problem. So you should not be seeing any more screen burn-ins or burn-ins. A lot of people thought it was a huge hardware defect, but it's not. It was just a software issue. A lot of people have been saying that before the previous update, when they were just typing on the keyboard, there was a lot of keyboard lag typing for a while, but now with iOS 17.1 it has been fixed, so you should not be seeing any more lag or buffering between keys. So this has fixed an issue that may cause keyboard to be less responsive. This update also includes a fix and improvement reliability on screen time setting syncing across other devices. So you should be seeing more of your screen time update across other devices in this fix. So we got a lot of complaints on the news from the New York Times saying that a lot of parents have been noticing that their screen time updates or just in general has been resetting or not showing on other devices, so they can't really see how long they've been on the phone. This update has also fixed an issue that may cause significant location privacy settings to reset when transferring an Apple Watch or pairing it for the first time. So that just resets everything in the Apple Watch or the iPhone for some reason. But now 17.1 has fixed that problem. So you shouldn't be resetting your iPhone, Apple Watch anymore. So if we go to privacy, location services, and if we scroll all the way down to the bottom here, system services, and down here, significant locations. So a lot of people have been saying that this setting has been turned on for some reason when resetting or getting a new Apple Watch. So just make sure that this setting is turned off, because that's a huge drainage for your phone because it's constantly updating the location. So if we go into our battery settings to charging optimization, before they had a bug where if you had it at 80% charging limit, it'll go past 80% for some reason. So if you had that issue, that has been addressed, and now it should be fixed in 17.1. So just a couple quick notes here. We still haven't seen the Journals app that Apple introduced a while back. We should be seeing this on iOS 17.2 or later, so we're still waiting for that app. So as battery and performance goes, iOS 17.1 still has improved quite a lot, so the performance is still about the same in my opinion. So when it comes to battery life, for me, I think the battery life has been about the same so far. So for me, the battery has been about the same. So I haven't noticed any battery percentage drop or drainage throughout the use of 17.1, which I just updated about a couple minutes ago. So I haven't really tested out the battery on this yet. So iOS 17.1 could fix that problem of battery drainage. So we still don't expect this update to fix any battery drainage problems. Going to see any improvement. It's just going to be a tiny little update, improvement, major update. So the question is, should you update to iOS 17.1? So this is a definitely yes, you should update. If anybody had that problem with image persistent bug, overheating, or screen burnout. Sorry, screen burn-in. If you did have all that problem that I mentioned, you do need to update to iOS 17.1 right away. And if you haven't had any of those problems that I mentioned in this video, I would say still update to 17.1 because it brings a lot of improvement, a lot of features, bug fixes, and security updates, all that combined to make this a very, very good update for all users. I've been using the final version here for about a couple 30 minutes or so, and I still haven't had any lag or any overheating of the battery as well. Just to mention that, when can we expect iOS 17.2 and iOS 17.2 beta? So most likely we're not going to see iOS 17.2 by the end of October, and we might be seeing iOS 17.1.1 in the middle of November, depending if Apple sees any bug fixes that they need to fix. So anyways, guys, there you have it. iOS 17.1 is out to the public. Go and update if you haven't yet already. A bunch of new features, a bunch of new bugs, fixes, performance, battery issues have been resolved in this new update. If you guys did enjoy this video, I really appreciate you guys if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet already. And if you want to stay up to date with iOS 17 or any Apple news. And if you guys are liking the new wallpaper, I will leave it in the link down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.